have supported, I just want you to be aware that this really is a signature part of our effort to break the cycle of poverty here in Greensboro. And so many of you who have supported our work, and who are continuing to support our work, we really count you all as investors in this. And so we thank you for that. And the fact that these family success centers are operating and really having such a wide sweeping impact in our community, we consider that part of the return on your investment. And so we want to thank you for making all of this possible, and just encourage you to continue to think about supporting our work and continue to invest in our work so that we can deepen our impact across this great city. So with that, again, want to just thank all of you for being available and a part of this gathering today. I'd like to introduce to you Sarah Glover, who is our manager of our Family Success Centers, who will continue on. So Sarah, all yours.
Thank you, Kari. Thank you everyone for being here, taking the time to join us live or watching this webinar later. I thought I would start by giving an overview, a quick recap of the Family Success Center model that was designed by United Way of Greater Greensboro 6 or 7 years ago. So we'll give a quick overview of that and then dive a little deeper into some of our results, information about our coaching, and about our partnerships. So next slide will give you the nutshell version of the Family Success Center model. It is based on best practices learned from around the country, things that were working to address poverty in different parts of the country. And we brought them all together in a unique combination. First time in Greensboro that something like this has been done. The 5 principles emerged from our new mission in 2014 to address poverty as our single issue, to break the cycle of poverty in particular. And we knew that you can't break the cycle of poverty by only working with adults or only working with children. You have to have a 2-generation approach. You have to work with the adults and the children in order to make an impact on generational poverty. So that was a key principle. We also knew that to address equity, we have to address trauma, and we have to address the barriers that have come from injustice and trauma over generations. Also, a key part of equity is access, equity of access. We needed to put the services where they are most needed, not in places that are convenient to the service providers, but that are convenient to the users of those services, the customers. And that's why our services are place-based. We have our Family Success Centers located in a zip code, in neighborhoods where there is high poverty, high unemployment, and a lack of a lot of opportunities and resources that other parts of the city enjoy. We put the services all together in a one-stop shop, or in the jargon called co-located services, to make it even easier to access them. And furthermore, these services are designed specifically for the community based on community input. We knew that you can't break the cycle of poverty within a single fiscal year, no matter how much we would love to. So we knew that this work had to be long-term, longer than anyone had done before. If it were easy, it would have been done by now, to break the cycle of poverty and boost the economic mobility of Greensboro residents. So we instituted a model that would work for long-term support without putting an arbitrary time limit on our families to complete their journey of getting out of poverty and into financial stability. Our services fall into 4 pillars: education, which is the key to a better life in so many ways. About half of our Family Success Center members, when they join, have not finished high school. So GED classes are an example of our education services. We also know that employment is so much more than just passing along a job leads or landing an interview. There's a whole world of job readiness, or sometimes known as soft skills, that is necessary to build people's confidence, communication skills, presentation, knowledge of job search, workplace etiquette, all that kind of stuff, even to know what kind of job you want to get and what kind of factors will make you successful in your career. All of that falls into job readiness. And then when you have little money to work with, it's even more important that you can manage that money well. So there's a financial literacy component. I prefer the term financial capability, actually, because literacy is about the knowledge, but capability means your behavior changes as well. And so our financial education programs have a financial coaching component where the person can work one-on-one with someone to cultivate good money habits. Finally, you can't do any of those three areas of life if you're unwell or if someone in your family is physically or mentally suffering. So we wrap all of this in a health and wellness layer to ensure success. And it's all pulled together by our primary strategy, our flagship strategy, if you will, for breaking the cycle of poverty is integrated service delivery, whereby each family helps create a customized package of services that meet them at their starting point, leverage their strengths, and help them get where they want to go. All with the services of a success coach, a Family Success Center or FSC coach. Makes a world of difference. You'll hear more about the coaching later in the presentation. So that's our model in a nutshell. And we launched with our primary lead partner, Guilford Child Development, in March of 2015. We call that center FSC1 now because we have two. The pilot study at the first Family Success Center gave us so much confidence and evidence and data that we expanded to a second center in late 2018, and they opened their doors to members in January 2019. We have the staff of these Family Success Centers here on this call, and I'm very proud to have them introduce themselves. The United Way of Greater Greensboro works very, very closely with this group of people. We fund the centers, both centers, all Family Success Centers at 100%. So it's a unique funder-fundee relationship. We work very closely with them, and it's just wonderful to work with this talented group of people. Let United Way do what we do best, and they do what they do best in serving the families. So I'll turn it over to Jay Webb to start the introductions.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Webb, and I serve as the director for the Family Success Center at Guilford Child Development. And I have on the line an amazing team. And it wouldn't do me any justice to introduce them, so I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angel Joyner, and I am the Assistant Director with the Family Success Center on House in Guilford Childhood Development.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katina Madison. I'm the administrative assistant for the Family Success Center and a part-time coach these days.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rhonda Johnson. I am a success coach with FSC at Guilford Child Development.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grace Kelly, and I'm also a success coach here at Family Success at Guilford Child Development.
Hello, everyone. I am Crystal Broadnax, and I serve as the director for the Family Success Center 2 that is located at the Salvation Army of Greensboro. I will allow the rest of my team to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tawanda Johnson, and I am the assistant director here at FSC 2.
And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Fuller, and I am the lead coach at the Family Success Center number 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shanae McDuffie, and I am a success coach with the Family Success Center number 2.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ambria Webster, the child care teacher for Family Success Center number 2.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So we currently have 10 people on staff at the 2 Family Success Centers. And the fact that we're all here on a Zoom call gives me a reason not to even need to bring up the transition to this next slide, the impact of COVID-19. I have learned so much myself, been pleasantly surprised, worried, all the kinds of emotions over the last 2 years. I would like to invite Crystal and Jay to comment on how the pandemic has affected their Family Success Center and their members.
Well, I think for Family Success Center 1, when this all started, we were just in go mode, providing the services that our families needed to make sure that they were on their way to becoming self-sufficient and just putting them in good position to succeed. And then COVID came. I think the biggest thing that started was fear of the unknowing. Nobody knew what this meant. And our families were in a position that they were placed in, not only to become teachers, but also to become students and parents. The technology wasn't there. Some of our members struggled with just adapting to which to do, whether to go to work or stay home and be parents. That was a hard choice for a lot of our parents. But we were able to place some technology in the homes. A lot of our families who did not have computers were given Chromebooks in order to kind of start the process of learning how to deal in the virtual world. I will say that given the challenges that they had, they really were resilient in trying to make this work. As you know, the public school system had their own challenges, so that impacted the families as well. But one thing I will say, what came out of all this was the fact that they acquired a new skill, something that they weren't comfortable with, but they were willing to try. And our virtual world started to happen, and we adapted. I will say, I thought this the disparities that we saw would really hinder our parents to a point where they would give up, but they didn't. Our virtual world started, and we have been running pretty much at about 75, 80% of what we were doing prior to. Will this continue? I think we learned that we can live in a virtual world as well as face-to-face, because looking at transportation as well as childcare will also be a good part of those who are not able to attend class. We'll still have that accessible to them.
And the same with FSC too. The challenges that presented themselves for us all. Just imagine those who already had many significant challenges or barriers to getting their needs met. And so the pandemic, it really just kind of raised more attention and highlighted some of those needs that weren't coming as presenting issues when they first came into the centers. So we were able to pivot and be able to continue to meet their needs. And it really just kind of diversified how we're able to serve. So we were able to learn, as well as our families able to learn new ways of doing things. And we're going to be able to keep those things moving forward, the virtual platforms, different ways, hybrid models of doing things and providing services. So we'll be able to keep those things going long term and be able to continue to eliminate those barriers of transportation, childcare, and other things that come up that prevent them from getting to our centers or to other community resources.
Yes, thank you both. And the people are wondering, where are we now? What are we doing about getting back together in person? Both centers have staff working at the office now, but are not having group classes in person yet. We're very pleased to see the success of the virtual operations, but people really miss each other. The FSCs are communities. People have strong relationships with their coaches, with their childcare teachers, and with each other and their instructors. People are really hungry to get back together. So another thing both centers have done is have outdoor events where the members can come receive food or other giveaways, have celebrations. We had a health fair recently. People can drive through and collect their certificates and their lunch bags and different things for the families. So we've gotten really creative at these outdoor events, and we're really looking forward to starting back as early as we can in 2022. So you heard about people meeting with their coaches. I mentioned coaches earlier. Family-centered coaching is our model, our approach to coaching at the Family Success Centers. We learned about this model, approach, curriculum from the Kellogg Foundation and an organization called the Prosperity Agenda. I think that's it. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on it. They trained us in this family-centered coaching recently, and we love it. It is just right for the FSCs. It's a model designed for people living on very low incomes, people struggling with basic needs, and it is designed for putting the family front and center. Whether you're coaching the whole family at once or just a person, it's a recognition of the influence of the family on whatever you're doing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And our coaches work in I call it changing hats, but there's also a car model of who's in the driver's seat. So at the beginning, when the relationship is new and the person is learning about the FSC, the coach is more in the driver's seat. If they have problems or big issues that need addressing right away, the coach is more in the driver's seat of connecting them to resources and figuring out how to solve the presenting problems in a little more directive manner than they will be later on when the crisis is resolved and the member, the FSC member, begins to be in the driver's seat, because we ultimately want them to decide where they're going, use their strengths and their own goals. So next, we're going to hear examples and perspectives from Family Success Center 2 about the power of coaching to make a difference in a family's life. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. I would like to say the power of coaching has made a big difference in the members that we work with. This approach gives them a way to kind of change their thought processes and also the decisions that they make. The family center approach puts the power back into the hands of the member. Normally what we find out is that when members go to other organizations or other systems, they're told this is exactly what you need to do to get to where you want to be at. With this approach, it's putting them in that driver's seat and asking them about them. What do you want to accomplish in your life? The coach is not here to direct and tell you what you need or what's best for your life, because you've been living with yourself, all these years. It's on you to kind of know, what's best for you, what works for you, what can you do, or what are you willing to do? And this approach definitely makes them, change their decisions. It allows the coach to work and empower them based on their strengths, and also empower them on making decisions. And with the coaching, we want to let them know that we're just that support. We're that backbone. We're the ones that once you have developed what type of goals you want to get, we help you develop the action steps to get it, but we kind of play behind you and support you. So if you fall back or if you have a time that is just, just overwhelming for you, you can come to us and we kind of would help guide you to a better way. And one of those examples is like recently I just had, I had a new member. I was talking with them and I was like, what was your highest level of education? And she was like the 11th grade. So I was like, would you, be interested in getting your GED? At first she was like, GED? No, I don't have time for no GED. Like that's not even on my mind. I done got jobs. I done got this certification without my GED. So what do I need it for? So with this family-centered coaching, it allows us to ask those powerful questions. And one of those powerful questions that I asked was, what would getting your GED hurt? And it was just a deep silence there, and it kind of started making her, and it put it back into her hands. Tell me, how will it hurt you if you got your GED? And it made her to have the thought processes of like, okay, it can't hurt. There's nothing that it can do but benefit me. And that's when, once she started realizing like this can benefit me, it opened up our rapport. It it brought the conversations back because it wasn't me telling her, this is what you need to do. It was her telling herself, this is what I need to do. And that's all about, this whole coaching approach.
Thank you, Jamie. You all see why I love this work. That was just a perfect example. Appreciate it. Even as wonderful as our coaches are, they can't do it all. None of us could. This is a collaborative initiative in many ways. And what United Way knows we do best is convening and mobilizing the community to help the community make itself better. We did not go into this thinking we're going to deliver the services. We want to do what we do best, and we want partners who do what they do best. We're not going to reinvent the wheel, was one of our mantras that we said in the development of this. So this wheel model actually reminds us we are not reinventing any wheels. We are bringing in the experts. So our lead partners operate the centers while United Way funds, promotes, and oversees and makes sure that everything is following the model. The core partners in the inner ring there are the organizations who are most closely involved in the day-to-day operations and services of the FSC. They may be based on site. They're on a daily basis or weekly basis. They may have a contractual arrangement with us to be paid for delivering some of their services. Not all of them are, some of them are. And they may also be, they do also serve as consultants to the FSC team in shaping the programming, the curriculum, and the different opportunities for our members. And finally, they also share in the case coordination or the problem solving for particular families that they and the coaches both work with. So we have in the inner ring, we have financial capability partners in Housing Consultants Group and Inheritance Financial Coaching, one at each FSC. We have the community college who teaches courses on site. We have congregational nurses at both sites. We have the Congregational Social Work Education Initiative, which provides social work interns to do mental health, behavioral health services. We have Peace of Hope Foundation, which is a mental health, behavioral health service provider who's based on site at FSC2. We have Step Up Greensboro, who does job readiness classes at both FSCs. And Boys and Girls Club also work with both FSCs for after school and summer programming. In the outer ring, we have a wide variety of relationships. These supporting partners do things that may go from just simply giving us a discount on the services that they offer to, and so that our members can, we can pay for our members to take advantage of them. They may deliver services on site, virtually, or at their site, specifically tailored to FSC members. They may hire FSC members. They may teach FSC members. And they also serve that consultant and partner role of advising and helping us improve our programming. We have, I want to talk about all of them myself because I'm so proud and excited about this variety of services we have. But instead, I'm going to invite Crystal and Jay to give an example each of a part of something that illustrates collaboration with one of these partners. I don't know which of you wants to go first, but over to you.
One of the partners that is one of our core partners that's in the inner circle, the beauty of being the second Family Success Center is we were able to apply lessons learned as things have come up along the way. And so what we learned is that mental health services were critical to this work. And so we are very excited about the partnership that we have with Peace of Hope Foundation. They do provide connection, information, and resources to mental health and other supportive services in the community, but they provide a weekly life skills course for our members. It's one of our most popular classes. It's one of those workshops that is ongoing. It's not one of those things that's like a 6-week series or time limited. So it's ongoing and it helps them to deal with the things that come up, because when you're working towards your goals, we all know that those obstacles that get in your way and life happens. And so it helps them to be able to deal with those challenges that come up and continue to be motivated and remain focused on what those goals are. So that partnership has been wonderful for us. They have also began to implement a monthly training that is for members and staff, and both centers are invited to participate. And that has been something that's beneficial. So they're touching on a new mental health topic and providing training for all of us to be able to work with one another and support each other, because we're all in this together.
That as well, Crystal, because the most important piece, as you look at this wheel, is the collaboration aspect of this. We know in order for our families to move in the right direction, that we have to be affiliated with the national institution that will allow them to post-secondary education. So I'd like to highlight GTCC. GTCC has been critical to our GED program. When I started with FSC years ago, one of the main focal points was individuals not having their GED. And we struggled. We didn't really know how to move this along. GTC brought us two of the best instructors I think that's on the planet Earth. And we went from one GED graduate to 42. And those 42 GED graduates, a lot of those individuals have gone on to careers. Even during the pandemic, we had a GED member to graduate. Also, we just received notice that one of our GED graduates just got their medical assistance last week. It's so pivotal because we know that we cannot move our families into a place where they're able to take care of their entire family if they don't have careers that bring about wages that will allow them to take care of them. So I'm just excited what's to come in January. We've been waiting for this for a while, but I'd like to say GTCC was heaven sent, and we are very much appreciative of all they have given us thus far.
Thank you both. Great examples, wonderful partnerships. Make it all work and help us achieve the results that we've achieved. I want to tell you a little bit about this slide. This depicts the numbers served from inception in March 2015 through the end of the last fiscal year, June 30th, 2021. These are the numbers of lives. This is the number of lives touched by the FSCs. And these percentages on the next row speak to some of the specific outcomes and outputs. Well, these are outcomes that we track. And there is information about how all these things are calculated. I'm just going to hit the highlights. I'm happy to answer other questions in follow-up if you would like to dive deeper into any of these. So new or better jobs. Employment is really what it's all about in some way, shape, or form. One person asked recently, well, if only 50% have new or better jobs, what's going on with the other 50%? And we just pointed out, well, some people are already working when they join the FSC. And maybe that job is working for them for the time being. They are not seeking a new or better job at this time, but they are working. Some people are not able to work at the moment because they're focusing on their education, like getting that GED, or they're raising their children, or they're dealing with a disability or a housing crisis or something like that. Others may have significant barriers that are just taking them a longer time to get to that point of hiring. We know how badly criminal justice involvement affects people with their employment search. We're always looking for employers who are those second chance employers, and we're trying to help the member with that situation and their family figure out ways to succeed. Entrepreneurship is one of the recent additions to our programming to help in some of those situations. So 50% having new or better jobs is not necessarily a low number. There are many people who are in a different situation at that point in time. The GEDs and certifications, as Jay told you, we've had tremendous success up to 2020 with these GEDs. But we also, some of us at United Way didn't know how hard it is to get a GED, especially if you dropped out or left school because of maybe an undiagnosed learning difference, because of bullying, because of a family crisis. Your confidence may be way down in the basement. You may have gotten completely rusty with your reading skills, your learning skills, study skills, and you've had to work. You've had to raise kids. So it takes a lot of time to study for, to overcome the remedial education needs, and to take the 4 exams that you have to take to earn your GED. But we are committed to seeing that through. That's a nice niche for us, because people can come and take a GTCC GED class at the Family Success Center and have their children in the childcare downstairs at the same time, served a hot, nutritious lunch and snack. So it's a very appealing, popular course when we can get back in person. The post-secondary certifications are also very important. We know you really need those to get to a livable wage, family sustaining career. So we're tracking post-secondary credentials, degrees, and qualifications that our members earn as well. Healthier lifestyles, as I mentioned, we wrap it all around with health and wellness. And some of the ways we help people have healthier lifestyles are exercise classes. Even Zumba was going on Zoom during the pandemic, and people brought their kids in to the yoga and Zumba classes on Zoom. We have a nutrition class that's taught at both FSCs through the Cooperative Extension Service. Things like that, as well as the access to nurses and counselors. Better money habits, we've talked about. Not only is it budgeting, but it's saving, it's decision-making, it's resisting temptation, it's understanding frauds and scams, it's in understanding interest rates, it's banking and things like that. All of these better money habits are a key point aspect of not only getting out of poverty, but staying out of poverty. And high quality childcare, as I've mentioned, is offered on site at each FSC for while the parents are attending classes or meeting with their coaches. We also have a way to help our members afford childcare when it's off-site through a childcare scholarship program administered by Guilford Child Development. And we have summer day camp offered through Prolific Park and Boys and Girls Clubs. And these are free of cost to our members. It's often the first time that one of the children has been able to go to a summer camp. If you have kids, you know how much that costs. And these are opportunities that our partners are bringing to us that make a real big difference in a child's life. So that's an overview of some of these results. And we now have, in addition to the numbers, a story of a real family who was served at our Family Success Center 1. And I'd like to play this video for you to hear these numbers come to life.
I lost my parents at a young age. Going into adulthood was rough. I didn't have all the information that I needed. Me wanting a better future for my daughters, I decided to make sure that I had a job, and I didn't know what direction to go in. I was looking up stuff online, and I came across the Family Success Center.
The United Way's Family Success Centers, to me, is a holistic approach to providing services to families. And so when individuals are engaging at that level and you're providing those critical resources that are needed to mitigate childcare and transportation assistance, and you're assisting them with, utilities in some cases and connecting them to other resources, that's taking a holistic approach in ways that public systems just weren't built to take, but in a very meaningful way.
Thanks to the Family Success, I am working in the medical field.
It's been an honor, to collaborate with the United Way's Family Success Centers in serving Tamisha and her daughters. Collectively, we've been able to provide employment and training resources to her that now enable her to create a better opportunity in life for her daughters.
Later on, I want to do RN, and eventually get my house, let my kids have the house that they always wanted, or they always talk about, I should say.
So I believe that the community should support and rally around efforts of the United Way of Greater Greensboro, because the agency, one, has a demonstrated track record of really moving a needle on some critical issues in our community. They have a very dedicated and talented staff that is committed to understanding community need, community plight, and developing solutions. I believe that the United Way does a tremendous job at aligning, pulling in partners that are designed to eradicate poverty and to support families in ways that are going to move them out of generational poverty.
My oldest tend to surprise me all the time. And one day she told me how she looks up to me and how she's proud of me. And it hits hard because I know I never had the mother to look up to. And to know that I'm doing an awesome job and my daughter feel like she wants to follow me. So to hear that was the best thing ever.
My name is Chris.
My name is Tamisha.
It's time to put our collective efforts into building a community that benefits all of us.
Local children,
families, and adults need your support.
You can make a difference.
Visit unitedwaygso.org
to learn more,
take action, and make a donation today.
And we happen to have Tamisha's coach here in the meeting. And I would like to have the Family Success Center 1 staff comment on this video briefly.
Okay, well, I am her coach. And again, I'm Rhonda Johnson. And I hope you guys see the smile on my face. I'm so proud of Tamisha. It has really been my sincere pleasure to work with her. She is a hard worker. She is driven and determined. And she's also a shining example of what an FSC member should be. She's really taken advantage of the resources that have been given to her, coaching, the classes that have been offered, and the job opportunities that have been presented. And she is well on her way to creating a life that, as we've seen, she can be proud of along with her daughters. Again, she's just driven and she is just ready for the future. And she has learned through her time here at FSC that nothing can stop you if you are driven and determined to achieve your goals. So I just want to reiterate how proud I am of her. She also highlights, she also highlights one of the paths that we have, the Certified Nursing Assistant Program, which is only one of the career paths that we offer. And just to reiterate that FSC removes the barriers and brings things together in one location. Again, it's that holistic approach, and it's the bringing together of the resources so that our members are able to access these programs and open that door to their dreams and their achievements. And that includes entrepreneurship, post-secondary education, as you have heard, even home ownership. So we're really raising their perspective. We're raising their vision from survival to achievement and success. And so our mission here is not only just to move people out of poverty, right? But we're also trying to help them improve themselves, their families, and their communities through education, employment, and financial literacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rhonda. I like the way you said that. Raising their eyes from survival to achievement to success. And we want that for so many families in our community.
I lost my parents at a young age.
And we have a new goal in Greensboro to help 3,000 households in our city leave generational poverty. And this community is better equipped than so many to accomplish this kind of bold goal. I want to tell you a little bit about the Family Success Center's contribution to this community goal. And basically, it's to keep doing what we do. We have a method, an approach, the right partnerships, and the drive and the success track record to keep doing what we do and contribute to these 3,000 households leaving generational poverty in the next now 9 years. In order to complete the programming at a Family Success Center, a household has to have enough adequate income to cover their basic monthly expenses and save a little bit for emergencies. There's several other criteria as well for employment, having health insurance, having stable housing, things like that. We have a whole set of completion criteria. But because adequate income is one of those, we know that there are many households who will cross out of that official poverty level set by the government before they complete their FSC journey. And we're collecting and tracking their income so that we can report that all along the way, our contribution to the 2030 goal. As you may or may not know, the federal poverty level, how the government measures poverty officially, is pretty low, and it's $25,600 for a family of 4. Whether that family of 4 is all adults, or 2 adults, 2 kids, or 1 adult with 3 kids under the age of 5. It's all the same poverty level. And we use it not because it means magically when you cross to $25,650, you can pay for all your basic needs, but just because that's how the government measures poverty through the US Census Bureau. And we want to reduce the city's poverty rate. So we are trying to help other households do like Tamisha did through the Family Success Center. Ways that other people can help this community goal range from what employers can do by raising wages, creating jobs, hiring people, to what individuals can do by helping a child succeed in school so that they will get out of poverty when they start working, that they can break that cycle. It can be passing along job leads. It can be taking an interest in someone's career. It can be mentoring a teenager. It can be being kind to workers so that people want to stay in their jobs. We don't want to just move people over the line and then forget about them. We want them to stay out of poverty and continue to climb. So those are the comments I wanted to make about the bold goal. And I'd like to invite you, Kari, if you have something to add on this before we move into question and answer.
I really think you have captured it perfectly, Sarah, about the bold goal. The only thing I would add is just that, just a reminder really that this bold goal is one that the entire community owns. So certainly we are advancing in United Way, but this bold goal is not singularly ours. And so just to remind us that we stand together holding up this banner as we pursue this audacious goal for 2030. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Kari. So the summary I'll put here, as I promised in the title slide, secrets to family success, are some of the things we've mentioned, and they include safety net supports, helping people have food, get transportation, resolve their housing crisis, things like that. Strong partnerships, integrated services, not just a la carte services, long-term family-centered coaching, and an unfailing belief in the capability of individuals and the power of community. With that, I will conclude the presentation and we will take questions. Which my colleague Stephen will moderate if they come in the chat. Or anyone can unmute and give a comment, observation, or ask a question. If nobody asks any questions, I'll ask you some questions. How does this make you feel, this presentation? Did we convey something helpful to you today?
Sarah, we do have a
question in the chat. It says, how does a person or family find out about the success centers?
Right. Jay or Crystal, or both of you, comment on how you get your members and how members find out about you.
Well, a lot of our members sort of know in this area, the 2746, that we are here, but we're constantly involving ourselves with other opportunities to reach out to different locations to make sure that they are aware of the Family Success Center. Currently, right now, we have about 13 centers, 8 locally here in Greensboro that we are targeting because we have family and children that are at those centers that we're going out doing an engagement sort of recruiting aspect. We're also participating in other programs that are having job fairs as well as health fairs to be able to share this information with those. But we try to make sure that those partners that we have know about us. That's why we do the tours, to bring individuals by so they can actually see the work. And we're hoping that individuals just like you that are on this call will be able to share that information with others that that may not know about the Family Success Center. The efforts are wide. We cast the net out and hope that we're able to reach people. I know the saying, they say, if you build it, they'll come. But if we relied on that, our doors probably wouldn't be open. So we're like boots on the ground. We're out here sharing the great work that the Family Success Center does, and we hope you will do the same.
Thank you, Jay.
And
Anything to
same.
add, Crystal? Yeah.
And just being visible. We had a meeting with Guilford Works earlier, and that was kind of like the common theme was just visibility and being open and out in the community, doing outreach events or whatever is necessary, keeping our partners abreast of what is going on as the changes come, as we transition back to in-person and virtual services. And I'm sure in the presentation, our direct contact information was there. So I'm sure that information can get out to you all as well, so that you can continue to spread the word to those in the community who may not be aware of what's happening.
And that is actually a way that people, individuals, and organizations can help our work, is by inviting us to come speak to a group about the Family Success Center, or to share some of our flyers, or to co-host a workshop with us to help spread the word. Some of the prime audiences who need to know about the Family Success Center as service providers who can refer are social workers. We presented to school social workers. We speak to hospital social workers and Department of Social Services, as well as other nonprofits. Other questions?
I think there's a question in the chat, and it says, do the Family Success Centers find that inclusion of volunteers assists with the positive outcomes for our clients? Any examples of volunteering that works would be great. From Mary Beth Halprin.
You want to start the answer to that, Jay?
Of course. We found out that, again, we can't do this by ourselves. And when the community gets involved, it just makes it a whole lot more powerful. One of the things that we have been doing, because we feel like it's a stable point to what we're trying to do, is our mock interviews. We try to put our members in positions that they are ready to go out and meet employers by giving them an opportunity to practice that craft. We've had volunteers to post up for Zoom mock interviews so our members can get practice doing so. Also, just on hand, we're back face to face. We have a lot of recognition opportunities, as well as our GED program. One thing we want to make sure is that our members have an opportunity to have tutors who may specialize in math, English, or reading. Those opportunities that we definitely need. That was one of the biggest requests before we stopped, was some of our members were needing more volunteers or more opportunities for tutoring. Just to name a few. Also, we do a lot of giveaways where we're set up to have clothing giveaways where we need manpower to come out and help us with that. I think it gives the members also an opportunity to meet other individuals. I mean, they're around us pretty much the entire day. But when we have opportunities for them to meet other members, it's a part of that networking as well. So yes, there are a couple opportunities and more that will come as we start to get back face to face.
Yes, absolutely. Some of our instructors in the past have been volunteers, some of our workshop leaders, and we probably have some of you on the call. We've had volunteers who help behind the scenes, like with information technology, things like that as well. The opportunities have been a little more far apart during the pandemic, but we have lots of ideas and would love to hear yours as well for volunteering. If we don't have another question waiting, then it might be time for me to hand it over to Nadine Malpass to close us out.
There's one more in the chat, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Someone read it to me, please.
What is your current capacity? How many more persons and families could you serve? And are there plans for an FSC 3? So
yes.
Currently our caseloads are capped at about 30 per family. We currently do have positions coming open at both of the centers for additional coaches. Right now, our coaches are operating at about 25 to 30, ranging in levels of intensity, where those that are very high need, where they're meeting weekly, those that could potentially be meeting bi-weekly or even monthly. But that's how it's structured at both of the centers. So we're hoping to be able to increase that and be able to add additional staff for the opportunity to be able to serve even more people. But we're looking at, we look at between 100 to 150 families per year to be serviced at each of the respective centers. And I'll let Sarah speak about the plans for scaling and going to
yes.
FSC 3.
Yes, yes. So Crystal's right on target. I usually tell people it's currently about 100 families per center. But as we know, they all have different levels of need and different levels of intensity of coaching that are required. So the 30 households per coach is the planning guideline, especially for those who have higher needs and need more hand-holding, more intensive contact, at least at the beginning. People come and go a little bit. Some of them don't need very much from us at all. And a coach can handle more, of course, if they're out working full-time and don't need us as much. But that's the ballpark figure. Yes, there are plans to expand to a third family success center. We are working on using our integrated service delivery strategy in another project called an integrated service delivery network, which will reach people who can't come to a family success center or choose not to come to a physical location, a way to serve them through a distributed network of service providers. And that's going to be the next thing to come on board. And then at some point after that, we plan to expand to a third family success center in the next few years. Okay, I think for the sake of time, I should hand it over to Nadine now. Thank you for the questions and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Sarah. My name is Nadine Malpass. I'm the Senior Vice President of Resource Development. I just want to say thank you today. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for learning about our Family Success Centers. I hope you were inspired. I hope you were inspired by our vision. I hope you were inspired by our coaches. I hope you were inspired by our coaches' staff. And most of all, I hope you were inspired by Tamisha and her story. There are many stories at the Family Success Center, and we'd love to share more with you. We need you. We need you in all aspects of the Family Success Center. We need you to be a volunteer, as Sarah said. There's many opportunities for people and workplaces to get involved. There's many opportunities for you to assist and help people in their journey, in the road to having everything that they want to have, and helping us lift families out of poverty and helping us get to our bold goal of those 3,000 families that we're going to lift out of poverty. Besides volunteering, we also need your support. United Way is the only funder of our Family Success Centers. We fund totally. And if you are interested in supporting us as a volunteer or learning more about how you can be involved financially, we would love to talk to you. There's many of us that can help and share these presentations and come have one-on-one conversations, or even, have Jay or Crystal share their thoughts and have participants also maybe share their stories. We have many on tape now. So there's lots of United Way staff ready to help you understand the Family Success Centers better. And if you want to be involved, we would love to have you. We need you. We need you to help us reach our bold goal. Thank you so very much for today. Thank you so very much for your interest. And thank you for being part of the United Way. And with that, I'll say we're done.